All right, guys, so watch this video for Friday, July 27th. I'm showing you the SPY here. Believe it or not, this little splotch with that little kind of topping tail, that was today's range, which is shocking, actually, after that massive beating, yeah, that Facebook took. You'd have thought there'd have been some range and some volatility today, but it was pretty dead out there. I did call NIHD. I put this chart on StockTwits. I figured I'd just use the chart in the video, too. It was just as simple. This was the opening 5-minute candle, then an inside fives. I called it long over this inside fives because you see it made a big move here 3 sessions ago. Then yesterday held up pretty well. So the inside fives, you had 3 catalysts above. I didn't put a line right over today's early opening range high. In other words, the first 5-minute candle. But trigger was there. High of day break, there's a catalyst right there just above. Yesterday's high is right there, and the day before that, the day of the big rally high, right there. When you hear me talk about stacked catalysts, this is why I like these entries, right? Because you get the entry, and right there you have 1, 2, 3 dominoes to potentially knock down. And so you can see it moved really quickly through those dominoes. As we teach in our course, we sell some into as those catalysts are getting knocked down, and then you tighten up your stop on the rest. And it ended up going to almost $6, and I'll get that out of the way now. But there's an example of a stacked catalyst setup that we teach. I mean, contrast that with seeing on social media today. Geez, I can't even remember the symbol now. BSPM. Look at that. That actually happened. It's not an errant tick. There's people out there being taught in different chat rooms to buy stuff up here and add up here. And I would just ask you to think to yourself, if you've been trading for more than a minute and you're getting long here after this kind of a move and you're adding up here after it comes out of a halt, if you're teaching people to do that, honestly think to yourself, does the person teaching this give a rat's ass about the people? Because that is a terrible habit to teach people to buy upside shape. So I just compare that to NIHD. We actually are trying to teach people proper setups, risk management, and keep you in the game. Or you can find somebody like that and follow and try to chase, and you won't be trading very long. You just be another statistic, which is why people like that advertise like crazy, because they need to replace the people that they're teaching to blow up their accounts. I don't usually rail about this anymore, but every once in a while it gets to me. So there you go. I'm done. So here's the list for tomorrow. Now BPI is super extended, but a nice breakout today. And as you've seen in my videos, sometimes the next day you get a nice little low risk red to green and a follow-up trade. So even though remember, I'm a day trader, I'm not looking to hold overnight. So even though this is way away from the moving averages now, we don't know. It might give a nice narrow range tomorrow and then a break, maybe through a whole number and have an inflection point as well, and so on. So we'll see. CRMD had this gap up yesterday on news, popped up, and then reversed, and then today right back up. I gotta love this thing. I mean, it's extended too, but you gotta love this thing over 45 cents. So let's keep our eyes on that one tomorrow. ADMA, nice breakout today. Closing, it went up to 629, closing right at the whole number. Absolute nice volume, absolutely worth watching tomorrow. RWLK, I've had my eyes on this one since this big day, and it's just chopping around down here, switching to 15-minute candles. I still like it if it trades in a narrow range for an hour or two, whatever, and then breaks through the high of day, because then I think you might get a quick push to a buck and then maybe a little mini squeeze. So it's kind of a weird looking chart, but definitely want to watch it tomorrow. MTSL actually called this one today. Remember, I had it on Bounce Watch. It was on the video coming into today because it had 4 days down in a row after this crazy action right into that area we call the buy zone. So fast forward, and I called this long over 250. And there was a big seller there. And then you had the day before that, yesterday's high at 258 as another potential catalyst, right? So again, stacked catalyst, plus we had a seller to get taken out. So it breaks 250 and ends up going to almost 3, and then flags, and then rips through 3, goes to, I think, 310. Very low risk, like a dime risk. So it's a really nice, when it comes to R, calculating your risk, that was a really nice one. And it's on the watch list for tomorrow. It didn't close as strong as I would have liked, but with this crazy action back here and a nice green close, we definitely want to watch that tomorrow. PED has been very good to us in chat. It did take out yesterday's high today. And actually, if you look at it, near the end of the day had a really strong close. So this one is worth watching for a continuation of that bounce. ISR had a big day for this stock today. Look at that on 5-minute candles. Just in the afternoon, just went straight up. Again, I don't want to chase this. I would never teach anybody to chase, but we want to watch that. Maybe a red to green tomorrow. We'll see if it gives a low risk setup. DCIX, let me zoom in so you can see the setup here. So you had a high back here, a lower high, kind of a lower high here, and when it broke 180, well, before it broke 180 yesterday, I said this daily is getting interesting. I didn't take a trade in it, and it ended up going up to 194, but then closed well below that 180 again, so I kind of lost interest, and then today, it just put in a quiet inside day, so I do like it over today's high. I like it over, I'm going to even put in my notes, 183 as a possible trigger. Now, we don't know how it's going to open. So if it gaps down and opens at 140, then 183 doesn't mean anything to me. But if it relatively flat open and it takes out today's high, it might just make a move at this 194 and then maybe if it gets over that, set its sights on 2, the whole number inflection point, and then maybe even this high. So you kind of have a stacked scenario here. So DCIX looks very good. V-Ray, nice inside day. I think Wayne made a call on this today in chat through 12, and it ended up going up to 1260. But a nice inside day, so this one's still worth watching. And then NBEV, again, a quiet stock. It only traded 158,000, but it does seem to have found support. Had a couple nice days where it came up and tested the 200-day, and it seems to have found support. So maybe we turn and go back through there, but not a lot of volume in that one. Okay, that's everything I have on my watch list. We'll also add some gappers in the pre-market. Look below for a special offer where our 1-year membership, which is already a dirt cheap price, we're upgrading to lifetime right now. You'll only find the link below. You won't find it just clicking around the website. You'll also find a link to our free webinars. A lot of free stock trading content in our free webinars. So check those out. And I'll leave it at that. Have a great night. And we'll see everybody tomorrow.